Hello, in this video we're going to go over Lesson 2.3 Booleans, Technique 3, Limited Range, and this is the demo. So a limited range is like it sounds. It's checking whether a number is between two other numbers, whether it's within a range of numbers. And we use this quite a bit in everyday life, but also in coding as well, because very often we want to make sure that a value fits in a certain range. And there's all sorts of applications for this. Like, for example, you could have somebody enter an integer and you want, what was what time was it? And, you need to have a number between, let's say, 1 and 12 for how the way a clock works. And so you can't accept, 15 or 38. That wouldn't work. And so you'd want to have a way of qualifying. Is the value even acceptable? An example they give us here, real world, this actually applies to almost all of us. So if you go shopping on a website and you're looking for an item between $10 and $20, you can use the filter. And what the code does in the background is it evaluates all of the prices and it only returns those prices where the value you're looking for is between or greater than the low number and less than the small number. So what we end up doing is using the AND operator a lot for these because it allows us to establish a high end and a low end. And then we can determine if our number sits in the middle. So let's go ahead and go to the code editor and get this demo coded out. Okay, so we already have quite a bit here. We've got our answer variable equals integer input, guess a number between 1 and 10. And then we've got line 10 says print if they're right. So line 11 says if answer is equivalent to 7, we print you guessed it. So this is important. The answer is actually going to be 7. Line 14, which we need to work on, says print if they are close. And then line 18 says print if they're wrong. And line 19 is our else. And that says print you're way off. So what we need to do on line 15 is write an elif, and we're going to determine are they close. Now, we need to remember that the number we're looking at is 7. Are they close to 7? We're not looking at if the number is between 1 and 10. We could do that, but that's not what this is asking. We want to find out if the answer that's entered is close to 7, which we've determined is the right answer because that's what it says on line 11. So here we'll type in this. We'll type in elif, and now we're going to evaluate answer using an AND operator. So we'll say answer. So elif answer is greater than or equal to 5. And we're using 5 because 5 is close to 7. So if it's 5 or 6, then that will work. So elif answer is greater than or equal to 5, and answer is less than or equal to 9. So we're basically allowing 2 either way. So we're going 8 and 9 are close to 7. 5 and 6 are close to 7. If they enter 10, that's not close to 7. If they enter 1, 2, 3, or 4, that's not close to 7. And of course, anything over 10, it would definitely not be close to 7 either. So let's make sure we do our colon. And here we're going to print you're very close, because they would be very close if they get this right. Okay, so go ahead and test this, make sure it looks good and it works. And crucially, take a second to remember and just to evaluate why we typed in these numbers and not looking at if the number is between 1 and 10. Make sure that you understand that we typed in these numbers because we're evaluating from the answer, because it says print if they're close. So what we're doing is figuring out, is the entered number close to 7, which this elif statement here does. So again, test yours out, and if it works, you did a good job and you can turn it in.